Yeah, he's a little jealous of me, you know. He doesn't like, my sophisticated as characters. The Shaw character is a man of experience, and you don't get to do that in your 20s. You need to build and same with, the Hobbs character. This is a guy who's been there, done that, and to be there and done that, you need years behind you.
Hello, cinema enthusiasts. Jason Statham, the man who defined modern action cinema with steel nerves and silent fury. But behind that tough exterior lies a list he kept buried for decades. At 58, Statham finally breaks his silence, naming the top 5 actors he truly hated. This isn't about simple on-set tension. These are betrayals, ego wars, and moments that crossed lines no professional ever should. And trust me, the name at number 5 will shock you. What he did to Statham changed everything. Let's begin. Number 1. Vin Diesel, a teenage ego in a bodybuilder's body. At the top of the list is one of the most talked about, but least openly admitted, conflicts in the action world: Vin Diesel. On screen, their partnership in the Fast and Furious franchise looked like a massive alliance of power. Behind the scenes, however, it was a complete professional disaster, one that tested Statham's patience every single day. Statham arrived on set like a real fighter, disciplined, on time, and fully prepared. What he found instead was chaos. As tensions escalated, Diesel routinely showed up hours late, forcing crews of hundreds to wait. He halted shoots to rewrite scenes so his character would appear more alpha. The breaking point came when Diesel turned fight choreography into a mathematical dominance contest, going so far as to insert a clause into his contract stating that he could never lose a fight on screen. During one shoot, Diesel stopped filming for hours because a punch he received looked too strong. Watching this, Statham finally snapped and later described the experience with one unforgettable line. It felt like working with a teenager trapped in a bodybuilder's body. Result: Statham is a professional who leaves the character on set. Diesel, by contrast, was a narcissistic guardian of his own image. Statham despised how Diesel's ego paralyzed the entire production. From that point on, he mentally and professionally cut all ties with Vin Diesel permanently. Number 2. Steven Seagal, a betrayal of martial arts. Second on the list is a name that insulted Statham's physical honesty and lifelong dedication to martial arts: Steven Seagal. For Statham, action is a matter of honor. For Seagal, it was nothing more than an inflated lie. The conflict began when Statham saw behind the fake Grandmaster image Seagal sold to Hollywood. As tensions grew, Statham became disgusted by Seagal's arrogance, walking around as if he were the world's only living martial arts legend, even comparing himself to Bruce Lee. The breaking point came when Statham publicly dismissed Seagal's entire career and fighting style as pure pantomime. Seagal hid behind stunt doubles and camera tricks while selling himself as an invincible sage. Watching Seagal barely move a hand while angles and edits did the rest felt like a professional insult. Result: to Statham, Seagal was a joke who undermined the seriousness of action cinema. Mocking the sacred discipline of martial arts earned Seagal a permanent place on Statham's unforgivable list. In Statham's eyes, Seagal was the last person on earth who had any right to mention Bruce Lee's name. Number 3. Jared Leto, ego babysitting. Third on the list is the man Statham labeled a time thief and egomaniac: Jared Leto. What happened during a pre-production meeting destroyed Statham's professional patience in a single moment. It began at a simple coffee table meeting for a thriller project. Even before filming started, Leto refused to break character, wouldn't shake Statham's hand, and demanded to be addressed only by his character's name. The breaking point came when Statham leaned forward and snapped. "Mate, this is a business meeting. We're professionals, not at a masked ball. Get a grip." Statham saw this theatrical self-importance as weakness, not genius. Dragging cast and crew into meaningless rituals just to look deep was, to him, a complete waste of time. Result: for Statham, acting happens on set, not during coffee breaks or real life. "If I have to babysit someone's ego, I'm out," he said, ending the project on the spot. Leto's artificial world shattered against Statham's rock-solid realism. Number 4. Shia LaBeouf, the tortured genius act. Fourth on the list is Shia LaBeouf, whose aggression and lack of discipline pushed Statham over the edge. A series of messages and LaBeouf's infamous trailer meltdowns became the final straw. When Statham firmly refused to work with LaBeouf due to his erratic behavior, a crisis erupted. LaBeouf responded with a highly disrespectful and unprofessional message. Statham crushed the tortured genius act with brutal clarity. "Some people think having a meltdown in their trailer is art. I work with real men who show up and get the job done." To Statham, LaBeouf's emotional outbursts weren't creativity. They were pure disciplinary failure. Result: a film set is an operation zone, not a therapy session. LaBeouf's chaos had no place in Statham's world, earning him a permanent spot on the blacklist. Number 5. Mark Wahlberg, the two-faced tough guy. At the end of the list is Statham's greatest disappointment, the man who dealt him his earliest and deepest career blow, Mark Wahlberg. The conflict began during The Italian Job. Statham witnessed Wahlberg selling the image of a hard-working Boston guy while acting arrogant, elitist, and dismissive behind the scenes. Wahlberg kept crews waiting for hours while taking business calls about his personal investments, deliberately delaying Statham's scenes. The breaking point came when Wahlberg subtly implied Statham was still at the beginning of his career, dismissing his work entirely. For Statham, pretending to be the people's guy while quietly blocking a colleague's rise was the ultimate professional betrayal. Result: Wahlberg's self-promotion and time theft clashed violently with Statham's quiet work ethic. To this day, Wahlberg remains at the top of Statham's list of Hollywood's masked frauds. At 57, Jason Statham reminds us of one thing. Hollywood may be an illusion, but real professionalism can never be hidden. He didn't just name names. He took a stand. What do you think? Is Jason Statham right about Vin Diesel's control obsession? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay tough. Stay honest. Goodbye.